Okay, we're going to do Algebra 1 today, Lesson 7.2 Part 1 today. For Part 2, Part 3, email me here. That's the magic email for worksheets and everything else. 7.2, apply exponent properties involving quotients. This is Part 1. You got a 38-point skill check here, skill sheet. And then for notes, there are no notes on this lesson here. 38-point classwork sheet. Okay, teachers, here is your bell work for today. You have a word problem here about a microscope. 10 to the squared times. The eyepiece magnifies an object 10 times. What is total magnification of your microscope? So students, 5 minutes, then we'll check back. Okay, welcome back. Our solutions now to our bell work is, here's A. So you have 10 to the third for straight up magnification. You magnify an object that is 10 squared nanometers long. How long is the magnified image? Well, what's a nanometer? 10 squared nanometers times 10 cubed up here is 10 to the 2 plus 3 is 10 to the 5th nanometers here. So A would be nanometers up here. So there's your answer. Okay, moving into our lesson here, 7.2, apply exponent properties involving quotients. You use properties of exponents involving products. You'll use properties of exponents involving now. So notice what happens when you divide powers with the same base. So we have a to the 5th over a to the 3rd. We have this situation here. These cancel, then you're left with just a squared, right? So basically it's a to the amount of the base up here minus your base in the denominator. So it's a subtraction. The above example is just following property exponents, known as the quotient of powers property. And then here's your concept, quotient of powers property. Let a be a non-zero number. Let m and n be positive integers, such as m is greater than n. So to divide powers having the same base, subtract exponents. So here's our algebra here. Then here's the example here of what we're doing when we have a quotient here, a fraction bar. That would be handle exponents in that situation. So here's an example here. Use your quotient properties here. What would 8 to the 10 divided by 8 to the 4th be? 8 to the 6th. Then we have negative 3 to the 9th over negative 3 to the 3rd power, negative 3 to the 6th, and then, oh, we got a little tricky one up here. What do you do with that? Well, 5 to the 12th over 5 to the 7th, and that equals 5 to the 12 minus 7 equals 5 to the 5th, and then 1 over x to the 4th times x to the 6th. So this becomes x to the 6th, x to the 6th over x to the 4th. Then we go to our quotient property of exponents, and we have x squared. Okay, our first guide of practice here, simplify this expression. Students, this is you. Your guide of practice here. And we have 6 to the 11 minus 5 equals 6 to the 6th power here. Okay, power of a quotient. Notice what happens when you raise a quotient to a power. So when we raise a quotient here, we have fraction bars. So this produces a quotient. We have this situation here, so it becomes a to the 4th over b to the 4th. And when you have using the power of a power, the example above is just following property exponents, known as the power of a quotient property. And here it is here, power of a quotient. Let a be real numbers, b not equal 0. Let m be a positive integer. So to find a power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator, power of the denominator, and divide. So when we power a quotient, this would be a to the 1st, and then this would be b to the 1st. You just multiply m times a to the 1st, and then m times b to the 1st. A to the m over b to the m, b cannot equal 0. So here we have a situation here, same thing, 3 to the 7th over 2 to the 7th. Example 2, so we have a situation here. What's this, class? X to the 3rd over y to the 3rd. And then this situation here, negative 7 over x, so it would be Negative 7 squared over x squared will be 49 over x squared. Okay, now we have our second guided practice here. Students, this is yours. Pay attention to your guided practice here. And that would become a squared over b squared. And then yours is yours, students. That was part 1 of 7.2. Part 2 and 3 available here. Thank you very much.